I am going to start this video with one segment from an interview. This is interview on held on 10th of October 2019, and this guy who is now talking is writer Alexander Nogo, this guy with glasses. So he's talking about canons, people who were in Judea, inhabitants of Judea before Jews moved there, and their worshipping of God Baal and sacrificing children, an event, and the ritual of sacrificing children, firstborn, to that god. I remember one movie related to firstborn sacrificing, and I think it's Ripping with Hilary Swank. I think this is the, yeah. So this movie has to do with first what born well, actually it's second. Okay, I was close. Just a reminder for people who consider movies predictive programming, although this doesn't really have anything to do with predictive programming. So I'm going to play this segment.
Sve što je interesantno prilikom tog žrtvovanja, postali su niži sveštenici i viši sveštenici. Viši su stajali pored vatre i ubacivali su decu u peć, a niži su stajali bliže narodu i preuzimali su
to decu. Otetu djecu.
Nije to...
Ljudi su donosili.
Buduće žrtve, jel? Preuzimali su decu i dovodili su ih do ovih viših sveštenika gde su im predavali. Da se izvrši obred, jel? Znate kako je izgledala odeća tih viših sveštenika?
So he explained here that there were two ranks of priests of God Baal, who were one lower rank, so this is God Baal. One lower rank priests who were taking the children from the people, and high rank priests who were throwing children into fire. There was a huge I need to translate this. Okay, brick oven. There's a huge brick oven which at the end had the bull, as I just showed. That god was a bull, and the priests were ranking priests were throwing firstborn children to the fire, to that brick built oven, and he will now explain what were uniforms of these priests, two different ranks of priests. So let's continue.
Porpun, šta? Nego?
Isto onako kako izgleda odeća sudija u Haškom tribunalu.
Šta je crno, crveno?
Crno, crveno. A znate kako izgleda odeća, kako je izgledala odeća nižih sveštenika?
Kako?
Isto onako kakvu uniformu nose sudije Ustavnog suda Republike Srbije.
Oni kako beše plavo, temno
Nešto
plavo.
plavo,
I tako nešto potpuno plavo.
Naravno da naše sudije nemaju pojma ni šta nose, ni kakav je to simbol, ni šta to znači. Ne treba njima zamerati, oni to nose da bi bili važni. I misle da su zbog toga važni. Međutim, onaj koji je to sašio, koji ih je obukao, on je jako dobro znao u šta ih oblači i zašto ih oblači u to. Tako da, treba saznati ko ih je to obukao.
So what he says here, I will translate on the fly, is that high-ranking priests were wearing uniforms, black and red and black, which are the uniforms that are worn by judges in Hague. So this is International Crime Court in Hague. Pictures. Wow, but I don't see that they are red. And black. And he said that lower rank priests were wearing the uniforms which are exactly the same as uniforms worn by judges of Constitutional Court of Serbia. I guess that's them. I think this is their president. Yeah. And the reason what's this? She's again the Snezana Markovic. She's again. So most of them are women except this guy. I don't know who he is. Snezana Markovic. No, that's actually. This is the same woman. So this is the president. Of course, this is one of the if not the most important, but one of the most important courts in the country. So that's her. She never answered on my email, which I'm about to show. Shut up. So there she is in the video.
Dan ljudskih prava obeležavamo 10. decembra.
So she's talking about human rights, which is very interesting, because my most basic human rights, so right on property, was brutally violated for let's see, since 2019, and today is, I cannot really look at this monster and moron. So since 2019, right after my father died, So this today is 2023. So 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023. For 5 years, am I right? For 5 years, my essential human right. This is something that's defined even in Universal Declaration of Human Rights by UN, is brutally violated because the monster who murdered my family was occupied. She occupied my property. I could not come to my own household where I grew up because police, prosecution and courts and other institutions protected her. She is now in this monster. This is her sister, who gave guarantees for her. They both have major psych issues. She's now in psychiatric hospital. Actually, I don't know if she's in nursing home or psychiatric hospital or somewhere else. Last time I heard is that she's psychiatric hospital. So since police, prosecution and other state institutions protected her, I could not go to my home because I was living in the city. I moved in beginning of October 2021, and in 2022 and 2023 police harassed me and intimidated me something like 10 times, maybe even more, on false reporting of that moron. So that moron brutally murdered, monstrously murdered 3 members of my family, and this case also includes poisoning of 3 minors. Police knew everything about that, but they were sending their colleagues to harass and intimidate me. So, and this piece of shit, so-called president of that one of the most important courts, so Constitutional Court, is talking about human rights. And I'm now going to prove that they haven't answered any of my emails. So there are 2 videos. Secretary, I called secretary of that court, and because president's secretary didn't answer, and document office of that court. So there is no related case, and they know very well that I can file a crime report also to court. This proves that. So, and also there is another video on that, this one. So, as can be seen, they didn't even answer my email. None of my emails. Sorry, they didn't even answer. They didn't even open a single case. Although I was sending them, I sent them a lot of emails, which are all crime reports. So I called secretary because he checks out emails, and so on and so on. and this is again about those non-existing cases. The same thing happened with the Court of Appeals in Belgrade, but I will create a separate video on that. So just one thing to mention as a side note about this video, starting from I think 33 maybe 3308.
Rock and roll.
So from this point there is a part of this interview where this guy, again writer, explains that rock and roll is actually originated from Canaan tribes, not from Africa, as some people think. And I think that this guy who created series on Hell Bells rock and roll documentary. Hell's Bells, the genders of rock and roll. I think that he mentioned in his documentary that rock and roll originated in Africa, origins are in Africa, and he said, this guy said that it's so chromatic scale, 12 tone scale, that's their origins are in Canaan tribes. They first used it because that music was the best tool for entering, going into trance, in a state of trance, which was what was happening during that sacrifice ritual of firstborn. And I know that I'm really not familiar that only chromatic scale is used in rock and roll, but anyways. So this was the first thing that I noticed, strange thing. The second is that I wasn't able to find any pictures of these lower and highest priests he mentioned. So it would be really interesting if he can provide any source on that. But anyways, so I wanted to mention this because, of course, of judges of Constitutional Court. And the last thing is that I want to show. There are no emails I received. This is from President of that court, and there is also a secretary. Okay, I need to switch the language. Nothing, and I will just show for the end. So both emails to President and to Secretary of Constitutional Court of Serbia. So this is the one. This is directly sent to them. I I sent that I will report them to FBI, which I did if they don't answer. They didn't answer. So that was the first email, and this is the second. This is the Supreme Cassation Court, now Supreme Court of Serbia, the highest instance court. And just want to see if I address them directly. Supreme Constitutional Court. Okay. Yeah, here they are. Yeah, here it is. I asked them here, do they know that their uniforms, according to Nogo, that guy's Alexander Nogo, absolutely similar to the one, actually totally the same as the ones of, I was wrong here, so low rank satanic priests of God Baal. And I will talk next time about their brothers by Hammer, which means piece of shit from Freemasonry. And I will talk later about that because of dramatic effect. Effect, not effect. And this is also something that I said to or wrote to all of them, all judges, prosecutor officers, police and so on, that they can ignore me when they have more education and proven knowledge than me, which doesn't mean that I'm special by any means. It just means that I have more credibility than they do because they are chosen. Somebody chose them, and my credibility is something that they gained, which is huge difference. Not to mention that law, all of them are lawyers, of course. Law is not a science; it's pseudo or quasi or quasi science. And again, yeah, this will never happen. So they will never have more education and proven knowledge than me. Yeah. This is about law. Law is not a science, but pseudoscience. So they are not even in my rank. And this is the video. This is the video for them, where Mr. Massey said.
As you might know,
Oh, shut up.
recent.
Where Mr. Massey said, "How do you to John Kerry? How do you get Bachelor of Arts in science, and that political so-called sciences are pseudoscience," and so on and so on. So this is probably final two directory, which can be no. Okay, anyways. So I closed the wrong one, and that directory final 2 can be found here in this in description of this video. And let's see if there are more emails I just sent to President. Or maybe I only sent to President of Constitutional Court. So I will actually first check out the Secretary. Well, okay, this is something they sent to me. So nothing, I checked it out, sorry, that was wrong. So there are a lot of other emails. I think that I haven't addressed them directly in any of them. I'll just open this one. Yeah, I haven't mentioned them directly. This is for other recipients. Something is happening with my okay, nothing. Sorry about that. So actually there is for Constitutional Court, Republic Prosecution Office and Prosecution Office of Appeals. Yeah, this is something related to the pandemic. Pandemic is not quoted. I explained this one, so I think nothing is there for them because they didn't answer. I didn't address them anymore. Actually, I think I also, yeah, this is something that I reviewed, so this is definitely not it. Nothing. Okay, so that would basically be it. I just want to check out on the president. Emails I sent to the president, that piece of shit. So these are two. Okay, so I sent most of the emails to secretary, and as can be seen, they never answered. So I think that should be all regarding Constitutional Court of Serbia.